We are live with Blake Corum here on Preediction to do a little bit of an Ask Me Anything. It's the biggest game of the year across all college football. First off, Blake, thank you so much for doing this. Super excited to get into the nitty gritty, all about the game, Blake Corum, your life, all of those things, man.
No, I appreciate you guys for having me. This is awesome.
For those of you who don't know, I am Isaiah Hole. I am your host here for the evening. And before we really get into everything, I do want to say, hey, Blake, we're not going to talk about your knee. I know it's going to be really disappointing to a lot of people, but we're going to keep the focus on some different elements about you, about your thoughts about the game and things of that nature. So with that in mind, I want to go all the way back to your recruitment. Because you know what? I heard that when you were coming down trying to figure out what schools you wanted to go to, it was coming down to two schools. It just so happens that these two schools are the ones that are playing on Saturday. You picked Michigan over Ohio State. Tell me a little bit about how that went for you.
When I came up with the idea, I was like, I want to commit soon. It was already too late to take all of my official visits. I only had time to take 2 instead of 5. And so, it came down to Ohio State and Michigan. So 1 week, the first week I took my official visit to Ohio State. Nice campus. Coaches were cool. A nice place. And then the second week I took my official visit to Michigan and I committed on the spot. And there were many reasons on why I committed. In my mind, I'm like, Michigan's a legendary school, but you can get good football anywhere you go, and that was my mindset. Like, it doesn't matter, where you go, you're going to get some good football. It was the bigger picture, where can I leave a bigger impact at? And I thought Michigan was the spot for me. The alumni base is crazy. The academics top tier. It was perfect. It was a perfect fit, and that's why I committed on the spot.
Now, things have been it's been a crazy journey for you from being a guy that came in, started as a true freshman, or not start. Well, you kind of did start actually, but you were behind Zach Charbonnet, you were behind Hassan Haskins, and you were kind of in a way an afterthought, and yet you burst onto the scene really last year, your second year. Now that you are a Heisman contender, you're a star in all of college football. What's this journey been like for you? I mean, when you take a step back, I don't know if you have taken a step back and taken a look at how this whole thing has gone, but how has the journey been in the sense of just kind of going from a guy who was doing things in high school to now?
Yeah, it's been an amazing journey, and I've learned a lot throughout my journey, right? So, I came in my freshman year, the running back room was packed. You had, like you said, Zach Charbonnet, Hassan Haskins, Chris Evans came back. Then you had myself, Turner. It was packed. And so, I was trying to find my way, how to get on the field, whether that be special teams. I played a little bit. And then last year, it was thunder and lightning, right? I was still behind Hassan, but I was getting playing time. He was kind of, the workhorse, and then I come in and, break the long ones and, kind of catch out the backfield. That was kind of my thing. And then, you come into this year, I had high expectations. And I've been able to do some pretty good things this year. And so, it's been a great journey. I've learned a lot, and I'm so thankful for the journey that I've been on. And, when we talk about the Heisman, it's been cool. It's been really cool. And if I'm blessed to be able to go to New York, then, pretty soon that'll be even more amazing. But my journey has been great.
Has that been surreal for you at all in terms of, is this what you anticipated coming to Michigan? Did you anticipate to have this type of national attention the way that you have?
I didn't know what to think, honestly. My mindset was just to come in here, do what I've always done, work hard and ball. I didn't think about the Heisman. I didn't think about these awards. That never crossed my mind, until this year. And, I'm up for these awards and things like that. So, honestly, it never crossed my mind. Like, I was just, I just wanted to leave an impact wherever I went. and you do good things, and then these awards come up and things like that. So I'm blessed. I'm definitely blessed, but it never crossed my mind when I came here. Like I was going, I wasn't trying to win the Heisman. You know what I'm saying? I was really just trying to help my team win, and with team success comes individual success, and it's been a good year, man.
It's speaking of the team, speaking of expectations last year, you guys get to go up against Ohio State. You end up shocking the world. No one was really giving Michigan a chance to being able to beat Ohio State. You were able to do it. Kind of weirdly in the same type of scenario this year. It's maybe getting a little bit more credit, a little bit more. Some of the pundits are giving you a little bit more of a chance than they had before. But with that in mind, what are you looking forward to in this game? Why do you think that your team, Michigan, is going to be able to pull off what is, I guess, an upset?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm looking forward to just a dogfight. Where each team's going to give it their best. It's win or go home. If you don't win this game, was the season really good? I don't know. Who's to say? But why I think we'll win this game is because we know what it takes. I know my guys. We've been working really, really hard. Not saying they haven't, but we've been working really, really hard. And I know how passionate my guys are, and I know how much they're looking forward to this game. And so come Saturday, it's going to be a dogfight, and we know that, and we're willing to fight for however long we have to, and we're willing to go however far we need to get the W, and it's going to be fun, man. I'm really excited.
Well, we're going to get back to the game here in a moment because I want to pull things back a little bit, because certainly we can talk football all day here, and we'll talk probably the bulk of football, but I want to take a step back and ask well, actually, sir, before we even move to that, we've got a question coming in here. So someone's asking here, football was the best thing to happen to me, but I never had an opportunity to play past high school. I have a 2-year-old son, and I hope loves football as much as me. When did you start playing, and what kept you motivated? Also, where can I get that hoodie?
Where can you get that hoodie? My dad had this made for my turkey drive yesterday. Let me know, and I'll send you one. But to answer your question, I started playing football 5 or 6. I can't remember. I was young. I played t-ball first. My mom didn't want me to play football. Dad did. So the first year, I didn't play football because my mom said I could. And then the second year, she still didn't want me to. But my dad was like, he's playing football. And so, like, at the age I would say probably 6, I started playing football. And, man, I've never looked back. I have so much fun on that field. And I have so much passion for the game. And it's done so many great things for me in my life that, who knows what I would have done if it wasn't for football, who's to say, I would be at a great school like Michigan if it wasn't for football. It's just opened up so many doors for me, and I think, football is part of my purpose. It's definitely not my purpose, but it's been part of my purpose because playing football has allowed me to meet a bunch of people and a lot of younger kids look up to me in my journey. And I hope I keep inspiring younger kids. And so that's why I say, football is part of my purpose just because it's affected others. But yeah, I started playing at 5, 6. What kept me motivated is, my dreams and aspirations, and I always was consistent with the work I put in and will always be and will continue to chase my dreams.
Now, you say, Michigan, that football is part of the purpose. What do you consider to be the other parts of the purpose?
My main purpose is, why I think I was put on this earth is to give back and help others, and just give them a sense of direction where they want to go in life and just motivate them. I think that's what my main purpose is, and I think football has definitely helped me do that. But that's my main purpose, and I honestly believe that.
Now, inspired you in that way? Like, how did you get inspired to want to give back?
The way I was raised, the way my parents brought me up. I was brought up in the church, and I always wanted to give to the church. I didn't have much money. Didn't have money at all when I was young, but whenever they would walk by, hey Dad, can I get $1 to put in? And it felt like I was putting $1 in, or I was just always trying to help. Whether it be helping my mom in the house. I just wanted to help people, and that's kind of where it started. My parents, always helping others, giving back to the community. Especially around like Thanksgiving, Christmas time, they always, whether they found a kid to help or something, they were always doing something, and I really liked that. And so that's why, I love giving back. The smiles you can put on someone's faces from just the smallest things is amazing. And so, I'll continue giving back until the day I die.
Well, we've got a slew of questions now from some of those who are watching here. So the next one is, what do the coaches do, if anything, to emphasize the Ohio State game? Do you do extra preparation during the season for this game?
Yeah. So throughout the season, each week we watch a little bit of film on them. Not a whole lot, but we do watch a little bit of film, and we do practice certain things. Just a little bit here and there. Not too much because we have to focus on the task at hand, which is each team. Throughout the week, but we do throw in a little bit, and just to keep that focus on Ohio State. The second part of the question was, to emphasize the game. I mean, the game's the game. If you're not motivated to play the game, I don't know what to tell you. It's the biggest game in the world. So they don't emphasize it too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not willing to put it all on the line, then why are you here? It's that type of thing. The coaches don't have to say much. We're ready. We don't need them to say anything. We don't need to be motivated. We're just ready to go out there Saturday and give it everything we have.
All right. So we're going to continue on with the questions here. But before I get to the next question, I do want to ask one quick one. We already got into the one personal thing about why you give back, but what's something about you that maybe people don't know? Like what do you do perhaps, like when you're not doing something football related, when you're not handing out turkeys in Ypsilanti and giving back to the community? There's got to be something that you love, that you're passionate about, that we don't know.
I'm an outdoorsman. I love to fish. I love to ride my four-wheelers. I love being outside in the nature. I really do enjoy that. And I just enjoy chilling. I just enjoy, lay back, kick back, chill with the family, chill with the dogs, chill with my girlfriend, whatever it may be. I just like chilling, So those are a couple of things I like to do in my off time when I'm not too busy. But that's about it, honestly. I don't really do much.
Well, it's hard to have time to do a heck of a lot when you are spending as much time in the gym, which I know you do. A lot of time there in Schembeckler Hall, and then obviously it's a short season, but it's a long season.
Yes, sir.
We're going to continue on with other questions here from the audience. All right, huge Michigan fan. My uncle grew up with season tickets. What's your favorite Harbaugh memory? Also, how did the Sour Patch Kids come into effect? I saw a video of you with 3 bags and handed one to a fan. Also, I missed your auto signing at Grand Rapids, where I live. Now, I can attest to the Sour Patch Kids. I stand and watch you do this literally every game. But so the breadth of the question: the Sour Patch Kids, the
Coach Harbaugh story. Yeah. So a good Coach Harbaugh story. One of my favorite stories was last year. He was telling us about beating Ohio State, how much it would mean to him, and he said he'd cut his arm off, and people like started laughing a little bit, and he just wanted to know why they were laughing. because he was dead serious. He would cut his arm off to win that game, and that's just something that's always stuck with me because he loves football. He loves football that he's willing to give his arm. Sour Patch Kids, has been my favorite candy since I was young. And, giving them out to, people in the stands and things like that, fans and whatnot, that's my way of, getting to know other people and, just kind of giving back for them coming to watch us. And so, I like interacting with the fans. That's one of my favorite parts about Saturdays. And so that's just kind of my way of interacting with everyone.
Well, Blake, you got another game coming up. You got to hook a brother up. I'm there on the field with you. I want some Sour Patch Kids. I'm hungry in the mornings.
I got you.
All right, good. We got another question here. I love that you spend your NIL money on others. What motivated you to do that?
What motivated me to do that is, I love giving back. And, people need it. Some people need it more than I do. And I'm blessed to be able to play college football and have my academics paid for, along with making money. So why not give back? That's why I say I think my purpose is here to help others. Why not use my NIL money to help others? And so that's why I use my NIL money to do things like this, just because seeing someone smile is the most precious thing I think in the world. So if I can continue to do that, I'll definitely use money, because money comes and goes. A lot of people are money hungry, and I'm not one of those types of people. Money is cool. Without money, a lot of things might go wrong, right? But money isn't everything. A smile to me is worth more than money. So that's why I used it.
So was that something that was instilled by your father, James Corum, that type of mentality?
Oh yeah, most definitely. My father James, my mom Christina, they raised me right. And I give them all the credit, man. Just the way they raised me. What I saw them do growing up, it's left an impact on me, and so I hope I leave impacts on others.
Now, kind of going back to the season, before we get even more into the Ohio State of it all, what's your favorite moment that you've had so far this season? Whether it's for you, whether it's team-wide, whether it's in a game, whether it's something that we haven't seen.
Winning the game last week. It was one of them gritty games, and just being able to win that game, that was my favorite part, because we never gave up, and we knew we were going to win. And when you have a team that believes in each other, and no matter what adversity comes, you're going to win, it means a lot. So that's my favorite moment.
We've got another question here. I want to return to that idea here in a moment. But hi, big fan here, 7 years old. I'm a diehard Michigan fan. What does it take to be a Wolverine?
Being a Wolverine, it takes a lot. It takes toughness, grittiness. You have to be, we call it here, you being a Michigan man, but just being a Michigan man or a Michigan woman. You have to be able to do that, and it means a lot to be a Michigan Wolverine, especially where that block am. It means the world, just because of how it was created. The people in the past that have put in the work and allowed us to do what we do today. And so you just have to be a good person at the end of the day, a person that loves working. That's what it means to be a Michigan Wolverine.
Now, I want to get back to real quickly to that idea of this last week being your favorite moment. Now, you haven't, as far as the season's concerned, you haven't had any close calls, really. Anything that's been close has been perhaps going into halftime, but then you guys eventually have pulled away. It's been a fourth quarter lead every single game until this last one. Do you feel like maybe you needed this type of moment to have some actual real adversity before going into the biggest game of the year?
Yeah, I definitely think this game was needed. To face that adversity, to just know how everyone reacts, because everyone doesn't react the same. So just know how everyone reacts. It was much needed going into this game for sure.
Now, obviously, this game, like I said, biggest game of the year, biggest game of the year in college football, not just for you, not just for Ohio State. I can't imagine there's another game outside of the national championship game that will surpass it. But going to Ohio Stadium, playing on the road, I know you guys relish it. You certainly last year really took advantage of the atmosphere and the environment. It's a different animal being in Columbus. You've been to games there. I've been to games there. What are you looking forward to? How do you approach a game like this as far as trying to shut out perhaps some of the anger that's going to be around you? Or how do you prepare for that too?
I mean, I love away games. That's one of my favorite things to do is go play at someone else's house. And so I heard it gets wild, at the Horseshoe. And so I'm ready just to take it all in. I want people to, say wild things to me, scream my name, I hate you, whatever it may be. I want that, because I enjoy it. And so that's what I'm looking forward to. And I don't think you prepare for it. It's either you like it or you don't, and I love it. And so being able to go into someone else's stadium, get the win means a lot. And so I'm really excited.
Well, you're going to get that this week. I could promise you that, because that's I've been there in 2016 and 2018. It is a hostile place. We got another fan question. Do the players pay attention to bulletin board material, things that are said by opposing teams, players, or the media?
Nah, we don't. Other teams might, but we don't pay attention to bulletin board material. Like I said, you don't need to be motivated for a game like this. I mean, the game is big enough. What's there to be motivated about? Nothing. It's the biggest game in the world. So if you're not ready to play, you're not ready to play. Don't travel. Don't go. We want players that are willing just to leave it all on the field, and we have a bunch of those. So, we don't pay attention to bulletin board material, and we don't need it.
Well, I'm going to add some. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to quite do that, but. When it comes to this game this year, I think one of the funnier parts is that I've been hearing all year, Ohio State is going to win because they're angry because of what happened last year. They want it more, right? They view beating Michigan as kind of their birthright. When you hear something like that, how do you react? Like, because I mean, you guys want it just as much, right? You prepare for them the same.
Yeah, I mean, we want it the same. They don't want it more than us. They're not coming harder than us just because we beat them. I don't think it has nothing to do with that. Like I said, it's the biggest game in the world. If each team isn't coming as equally as hard, then there's something that's wrong. So, I think we're both coming. We're both going to be prepared. And it's going to be an amazing show.
All right, we got another fan question. Someone asked, did you and Chase Brown get a picture together after the Illinois game?
No, we didn't. I think there was just so much going on. We didn't get to talk to each other. I would like to talk to him, but we just didn't.
Well, that was one of the more hectic, I can attest. That was one of the more hectic post games, and I think everyone's still trying to figure out the tunnel situation as well, as far as who goes when. Do we go now? Do we not go now? It's been a hectic post game scenario though, as far as that's concerned. So Blake, like you said, I want to bring it back to personal before we get back to questions, before we get back to football. You said that you do some outdoor stuff. Like, tell me a little bit more about how you got into that. What's your favorite activity as far as that's concerned?
Just being from the country. I grew up just staying outdoors. Never was inside. I grew up. I love to fish. Used to fish with my granddad a lot. And I love riding four wheelers. I have some four wheelers at my house. And I like riding up the mountain. It's a great view. It's peaceful. I feel like I'm just out there by myself, time to think and just time to relax. That's what I enjoy about it, and it's just been something I've been doing my whole life. I used to catch crawfish with my bare hands or whatever it may be, So just being outdoors is kind of how I was raised.
All right, we got another user question here. How has the culture changed from your freshman year until now?
It changed a lot, and it was really just the locker room thing, where my freshman year there was too many, groups, like this group and this group over here, and then there was a group over there. Where now it's just one, one big group, one big team, and that was the biggest thing, that changed the culture. Just, realizing, my brother across the locker room, we can talk to each other. Everyone can talk to each other because it's one. We play as one. And that's how we're going to win. So that's the biggest culture change.
Is there some kind of recognition in the team that had to change going from when you first arrived? Was there how did that get facilitated where you guys kind of came together as one?
I mean, we just, leaders stepped up and we couldn't afford another COVID season like we had. We sucked, they keep it 100. But we didn't want to be like that no more. So, leaders stepped up. We changed the culture, and it was needed.
All right, we got another question here from one of those watching. Do the players spend a lot of time preparing for the game in their free time, like watching film or practicing?
Oh yeah. We watch a ton of film. Hours and hours and hours. On our free time. And then, we watch a lot of film, during the day too, together. And so, I mean, you need to know what your opponent's doing. And so we take that very seriously, and we definitely lock into a lot of film. You watch a lot of film.
Mm-hmm. So are you saying that because they said the game, I'm assuming they meant Ohio State. I just want for my own clarity. So you're paying attention to Ohio State all year, right? You're watching Ohio State film throughout the year, or is it? How does that work?
So you watch a little bit here and there, but that adds up. Adds up to hours and stuff like that while you're watching, the opponent you're about to play. And so, I mean, that's how we go about it. Yeah.
Another fan question here. What did you learn the most from the seniors last year?
I mean, they changed the culture. And so, I mean, that's what I learned, how to lead and what this team needed. And, they left the blueprint, and we just been picking it up ever since. We didn't need to start from the bottom this year. We just kind of kept it going. All
right, we got a question from Greg. I've grown up going to Michigan football games since I was 5 years old. It's always been a dream of mine to run out of the tunnel. What's it like to feel like to run out to 110,000 fans?
It's a feeling that's hard to describe. I don't know how to describe it. You come out there and it's 110,000. You're just looking around like, dang, there's a lot of people cheering you on, and it's a great feeling. And I love the feeling. And it's hard to describe the feeling, honestly, just because a lot of people don't get to experience it. But it's amazing.
What was your reaction the first time? Because I mean, you played the first year. Running out of that tunnel without anybody there. I was up in the press box, which I never am, and it was surreal watching you guys play in front of an empty stadium. Fast forward a year, reverse a year from now, you're suddenly in front of 110,000 people. How was that when you first experienced that?
It was a great experience. It's probably an experience I'll never forget. Just because, I've never played in front of that many people before. And so to experience that, your heart is beating fast. It felt great.
Now, what are you looking forward to the most about this trip to Columbus? What is there some part of this that you're like, this is what I can't wait for, whether it's something that's a tradition that they do, obviously the game, it's going to speak for itself. But what is it that you're looking forward to the most about this game?
Really just, seeing what it's like, seeing what their stadium is like, honestly. Because, even though I took an official visit, I I didn't get to go to a game, and I heard their fans are rowdy. You know, I heard their stadiums one of the best stadiums, and really, so just really getting there, getting able to experience it, and playing in a game where they're ranked number 2 and we're ranked number 3. You know, it's a like you said, it's kind of like a game last year, but you know, it's a little better just because we're both 11-0 undefeated, and so it's going to be a great game. I'm really excited.
Do you ever go back and did you ever go back and watch the first time? That wasn't the first time, but the last time that these two teams were undefeated playing each other. Did you ever see that 2006 game?
Nah, I haven't. I heard it was a good one though.
Oh man, I was a student here at Michigan at the time. I'll tell you what, that was. Let's not relive that. So I'm glad you haven't. Fresh slate, clean slate here. We got a question from Holly. Do coaches and players emphasize the Ohio State game more now than they did during your freshman year? Also, who are the leaders in the locker room this year?
So freshman year, we didn't play Ohio State. So COVID, there was a lot going on. I don't really remember too much, honestly. We emphasize it a lot now, but we don't, you know, we kind of just like to do the same thing we do all year. So we focus on them a little bit, but not too much. And then that week, we focus on them a lot. Leaders in the locker room, you know, obviously the captains. You know, we have our captains. We pick them, so we really look up to them. And then, you know, you have individual leaders as well, like myself and a couple others. So, you know, your captains are definitely your leaders, and then you have some other that aren't captains, leaders as well.
I do have a follow-up question from what Holly asked and what your answer was there. I know you didn't play Ohio State that COVID year, but is there a difference in terms of were you still focusing on them throughout? Because I know that at least when I first started covering the team, it was strictly whoever the team is in front of you is the only one we're paying attention to. So it seems like it's a newer thing. Maybe I'm wrong. Is it a newer thing that you guys are at least sprinkling in a little bit of paying attention to what they're doing throughout the year?
You know, I think it is a newer thing. You know, I think it's you know, it's such a big rivalry, and you know, you don't want to just focus on them that week. You know, you don't want to put too much time into it because you got to get it through the season. You know, you have to win all your games to get to the big one. But you know, it's a newer thing when we sprinkle a little bit in. You know, just here and there.
All right, we got a question from Noah, and this will be we're getting close to the end here, unfortunately. But from Noah, have you ever been ice fishing in Michigan? Do you play video games? If so, what games?
Nah, I've never been ice fishing. I definitely wouldn't mind going ice fishing. I think that'd be pretty cool. And I'm not a video game guy. I do not play video games. Maybe one day, but right now, not really.
No, here I was gonna say let's get a modern warfare. I don't even know. I barely play video games myself. I'm not good at them. Hence, it's a rare thing for it. All right, so I think I'm not sure that we have any more questions from the fans. I'm going to ask one more thing. It's going to be more on the personal level. Blake, what is something about you that obviously we get to know you a little bit through the media, fans get to know you through us doing our job, but what's something about you that maybe people don't know that is like key to who you are?
Really just, you know, I have love for everyone. And I don't know if everyone can tell by just, you know, looking at me or not, but, you know, I love everyone, man. You know, I'm very passionate for others, and I'm always, you know, here for anyone that needs someone to vent to or anything. You know, I'm here, and you know, like I said, you know, I've told you a bunch of times, you know, I love helping, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So anything I can do to help others, I'm down for. Man, it's from my heart. It's all genuine.
Well, thank you so much, Blake, for your time. Thank you, everyone who's out there watching. Thank you all for your patience as we've navigated the murky waters of technology in America. So, again, I'm Isaiah Hole. That's Blake Corum. Appreciate you all joining us. Sure, we're all going to be hyped up for this game, whether you're a player, you're a fan, you're in the media. So thanks again. We'll see you soon.